changing your mental state in ballet class doesn't have to be so hard. Hey dancers, are you overly critical of yourself? Do you find that whenever you're dancing, instead of actually being fully present with what you're doing, you're thinking, ugh, that was terrible, ugh, ugly, ugh, her leg is higher than mine, ugh, my classmates and teachers are probably judging me? Well, if that's you, chances are you're not really able to enjoy what you're doing as you're thinking those thoughts. Chances are you're not feeling tremendously confident when those thoughts are going through your head. And also, you're not able to dance the way you really could if you were just fully present with what you're doing and confident in your abilities. Dancers, if you want to start switching that internal dialogue and actually becoming confident, I'm going to talk with you guys today about how to change your self-talk and become less critical of yourself so that you can really start enjoying your dancing again and being fully focused and present in the moment as you dance. If that sounds good to you, keep on watching. Okay, so step one, this isn't hard. Just become aware of your inner narrative. Now, chances are you are already very aware of the super negative intrusive thoughts that come up in class. Here's what I'm inviting you into though, a higher level of awareness where you can start to observe the thoughts and instead of instantly reacting to the thoughts emotionally, instantly buying into the thoughts. For example, if a thought comes up like, my legs are so turned in, and you're frustrated about that, instead of instantly getting frustrated, having that just awareness where you can notice the thought and choose your response to it. That is the level of awareness I'm inviting you into today. Instead of just reacting to your thoughts, you can create a space that allows you to thoughtfully respond to your thoughts. You're able to insert your power to choose how you're going to respond to that thought. If you are going to be in agreement with it, or if you're going to maybe question it. Maybe you've actually just been feeling like when you take a second to think about it, what you're actually feeling is vulnerable because you've been put in a higher level with dancers who are a little bit better than you in some ways. And instead of diving into that vulnerability and rooting yourself, grounding yourself, and it is okay that I'm not at the exact same level in every way to all my classmates. That's okay. But instead of addressing that vulnerability you're feeling and engaging with it in an empowering way, that vulnerability and that sense of being threatened actually manifests itself in overly critical thoughts because you're like, oh, I'm not as good as them. And that belief actually sets your mind to task on looking for evidence as to why that's true. Why it's true that you're not good as them. In what ways are you not as good as them? You are setting your subconscious mind on that track to be like, oh, you're not as good as them? Is that what you believe? Okay, I will help you validate that. So instead, if you become aware at a higher level of the thoughts, you become aware of where are the thoughts coming from. You challenge them and you choose how you will move forward from that thought. And by first practicing awareness and making that choice of how you'll move forward, and most specifically, I want to point out, choosing what thoughts you are in agreement with, or just what thoughts you're going to let come up and just kind of go away. You are taking control of your inner narrative. Here's the next layer to taking control of your inner narrative. After you've become aware and you've recognized that you can choose how you interact with your inner narrative, you can choose what thoughts you want to put in your head, what you want to place your focus on. So, for example, the way you could do this is when you're in class during the first exercise of the day, you might kind of notice that your hips feel stiff and you're not able to turn out. Maybe a thought instantly comes up, oh, this is going to be a terrible class. I mean, come on, I'm a pretty positive person. Thoughts like this sometimes come up for me. Here's the good news though. You are not bound to partnering with that thought so that it comes true. But sometimes by unconsciously being in agreement with those thoughts, you actually start thinking and feeling and dancing in that class in a way that kind of brings that first thought to life. You get to say, it's not going to be a terrible class. I'm going to make this a great class. you know what, I'm going to play a little game with myself where I can see how much I can change from initially feeling locked up to figuring out how to loosen up a little bit more. And by the end of plies, feel loose and relaxed and lengthened in my body. And you can really gain pleasure from, instead of obeying that thought, playing with it and changing the narrative and changing the result. Instead of just reacting to negative thoughts, sometimes I don't even need a negative thought as a stimulus to remind myself to insert a positive thought. For example, how I do this, and I love sharing this with mindset coaching clients, and all of you, please practice this. It's life-changing. Before a particularly challenging combination, tell yourself, of course I can. Of course I can. Keep a simple motto like that at the front of your mind throughout all of class. And maybe you would like to have a different motto. You know, if there's a particularly challenging step, instead of assuming, oh my gosh, this is going to be terrible, I always take charge of my thoughts and I say, okay, well, let's just see. So instead of assuming it's going to be terrible and coming at it from tension and a place of negativity and doubt, I'm actually coming at it from a place of playfulness, openness to experimentation, openness to maybe like one little part doesn't go well, but that doesn't mean the whole thing is trash. And I actually gain great satisfaction from resetting. In every step that doesn't go perfectly, I'm like, oh, great, this is an opportunity to reset and see how fast I can get back on the horse. So dancers, this video is really simple. And that's the good news. Changing your mental state in ballet class doesn't have to be so hard. I do want to acknowledge that sometimes it is. If you notice that continually negative and intrusive thoughts are coming up for you in class, like, I'm just not a good dancer, and maybe I'm just not cut out for this, I'm just not as good as everyone else. And those thoughts that are coming up are really hard to challenge. You don't know where they're coming from. You know that, there's probably that negative belief there, but you don't know what to do about it. I do want you to know that even though I so welcome you to put these tips in this video into practice, I do help as a mindset coach for dancers to help dancers become aware of the negative limiting beliefs about themselves that maybe they picked up from a young age that has been kind of like unconsciously going throughout their mind in their whole ballet training. I help them to become aware of those beliefs and actually resolve them and establish new and empowering beliefs that they actually feel, you know what, I can, you know what, that's true. Not like wishful thinking, but actual empowering beliefs about themselves that gets them into a mindset of confidence that allows them to truly enjoy what they're doing and perform their best in class, and to actually set big goals for themselves as dancers and with boldness go out and pursue them and achieve them. So if that's something that you would like help with, reach out to me. You could click the link in my description. I almost said bio. I'm so used to talking on Instagram. By the way, follow me on Instagram at TwinTalksBallet. But you can visit my website, KirstenKim.com, to learn more about my mindset coaching services, read some really awesome, encouraging testimonials from other dancers I've worked with, and apply for a free mindset coaching consultation where you and I can talk through what mental struggles you've been experiencing, what you would like to achieve through mindset coaching, and together I will not only share more about how we would work together in this coaching process, but also develop a plan for you and I to help you get to where you want to go as a dancer, whether that be you just want to feel confident throughout audition season, or maybe you want clarity on your goals for the future. You want to know, do I want to pursue a professional career? If so, where and how? What's my strategy? Whatever your goals are, we can talk through a plan to get you there. And if we both feel we're a good fit for working together, we'll talk about next steps and how many sessions I would recommend. Visit KirstenKim.com, apply for a free consultation, and I can't wait to talk to you. Let's recap those simple steps I talked through. First, awareness of the thought and creating a space through that awareness of the thought passing through your mind that gives you a moment to choose how you will interact with and respond to the thought. An optional step you can do in class or, maybe in your journal time outside of class before bed or in the morning. Ask yourself, where are those thoughts coming from? What do I really believe about myself or about my dancing? What causes me to choose to be in agreement with some of these thoughts? Like, really break that down. That's an optional step. But in class, awareness, give yourself space, choose how you'll respond, And at any given point in time, remember that you can set your focus and attention on the thoughts that allow you to engage with ballet class in a way that is in alignment with how you want to dance and what your goals are as a dancer. You can take charge of the thoughts that come into your mind. You don't have to immediately obey and believe the negative intrusive thoughts that come into your mind. Through creating space and choosing a more empowering thought, or just without even the trigger of a negative thought, saying, of course I can. Yes, of course I know this. You choose your default responses, and I promise you, when you have those responses and those thoughts in your little mental arsenal, your mind will actually get into a habit of already being in that state. I hope this video was tremendously helpful for you. I would love to see in the comments down below, just put that little emoji of the person, the girl, like raising, or boy, raising their hand. Like, yes, me, put that emoji in the comments if you're going to put this into practice, and I will be just cheering you on in spirit and in the comments too. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Please do consider sharing it with a friend who would benefit from what I shared in this video and the other videos on my channel. And don't forget to subscribe, because I come out with new videos every single week that support you in learning how to flourish as a ballet dancer. So dancers, that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.